Hey guys, and welcome to game number 54 out of 100 of the Mack vs. Machine series, where I'll be playing 100 games of Scrabble against the top online bot, HastyBot. We're coming off of a couple hard-fought battles that ended in losses in the last couple games, so hopefully we can turn things around here and get another win. And without further ado, let's get started. HastyBot is first. He opens with Ewis for 20. We've got OK Rack. Some decent synergy here. Unfortunately, the F and the V kind of ruin a bingo potential we might have. One option is 5, which is nice because it sets up the H for next turn with YEH. It does have the drawback of giving back big plays on this triple, though, on the left if he has the right tiles. And it also could give back big Z plays if he were to have the Z. So, definitely some downsides to that play. I'm not entirely convinced I want to risk that. Could also play 5 over here, which is the same score. This play isn't without its drawbacks either, though, because of course it gives back big plays from over here as well to this triple, as well as plays hooking 5 to make 5er. So I'm not dying to play 5 in either spot. What other options do I have? Do I have anything through this Y? I don't think so. How about anything with like SH? Faith would be good, but it doesn't work because of WI. I don't want to just play Eth, of course, keeping FAVI. That's a horrible leave. Guess I could just play like Fish, but that's pretty lame. I really want to get rid of this V. Yeah, this is actually annoyingly awkward. Kind of think I'm leaning towards 5, just because, again, I do have this really nice line for my H now, and I'm quite confident he didn't have the Z with Ewis, or else he would have played Wiz. Almost definitely. So there's like a 4 or 5% chance he has the Z, which is pretty small. So I think I'm going to go for it. Okay, so he didn't have the Z. He plays Aji for a decent amount. I didn't have a great draw here, but now the nice thing is, like, I have Hoot for 32, which was a big benefit of my last play. Like, I know I'm going to have a 30-point play if he doesn't block that spot. I think this is reasonable. AMT is a solid leave. I don't have a way to really score more points, so I'm going to go ahead and play that. Okay, he plays Oblige. Interesting draw here. A little bit clunky, but there's some good stuff there. KMP generally work pretty well together. Guess I could just play something like Kip. That's 29. ALMT is a little consonant heavy, but not a bad leave, especially with an E to work with. So not bad. Do I have anything here that overlaps? Not really. I'm not a fan of Cot, I don't think. I mean, it's not bad. PILM, the nice thing about that leave is it's a little bit weaker for bingoing than PLAT, but it does score more in general when I don't bingo. I think I like keeping it a little bit more open and playing Kip, especially with that E floating. It just works so well with my rack. So I'm kind of leaning towards Kip over Cot right now. Do I have anything longer through this I? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't see any particularly interesting longer plays, so I think I'm going to go ahead and play Kip. Alright, he plays Zep. Still a little bit consonant heavy. Do we have anything through this E? I don't think so. Close to things like Stomrel or Undreamt, but don't quite have the right letters for that. Anything good through this I? Even like a 7 through this I, just to unload some tiles and score decently would be pretty good. Although I guess we probably just want to play next to over here, since that'll score the most with the spot he just opened with ZA and EM. That's probably what we want to do. It's something like, Dram is pretty awful. Probably Lamb. Just again, with that floating E, that really makes this leave of DRTU a lot better than it normally would be. LTU just has very bad synergy. At least the DR goes well together. Yeah, I feel like Lamb has got to be better than Dram. I don't think there's a way we can get rid of the U. Like, if we had an M, or an N rather, we could play Dunam, D-U-N-A-M, which would be nice. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this play. doesn't accomplish much other than just scoring some points, but I think that's probably the best we can do here. Okay, he plays aha, so that E is now gone. Pretty ugly draw now. 2 R's and 2 U's. I guess we're probably playing Guru somewhere? Can't imagine there's going to be anything better. Probably just Guru and Glam? I mean, DRT is not a bad leave. There is still an A to work with, so we have some floating vowels. Yeah, I just don't see how we're going to do better than this. This rack is absolutely horrendous, so we just need to prioritize cleaning it up and hopefully picking something better to work with next turn. Yeah, I guess Guru also plays above Ewis, but that's fewer points. And it gets rid of our G for Glam, so I can't imagine that makes sense. It's a little bit more open, but I mean, we're not really down that much. No reason to be overly aggressive here. I think this is perfectly fine. Okay, he plays Turb, so he's starting to pull ahead a bit. Another pretty clunky draw. We get the other U, and just not a lot of good tiles to go with it. Yeah, like, how do we even really score anything here? This is a really ugly rack. Out drag? Yeah, we probably just want to play out drag. I mean, there's 2 blanks left. There's a lot of really good tiles. There's blanks, E's, and S's. There's so much stuff that we want that we just don't have. Like, this is an absolutely horrible rack for this board considering the pool, so I want to basically just blow through as many tiles as I can and try to start fresh, kind of as I did last turn. So yeah, I feel like out drag, I mean, it scores about as well as I'm going to with this stuff, I think. Turns over 5 tiles. DL is a reasonable leave. Yeah, I don't really think there's much reason to think more. I'm going to go ahead and play that. Okay, so we do pick up a blank. Still a little bit consonant heavy. We do have deferral at the minimum through that A. So we will be bingoing, which is very good news. It's been a pretty slow game for both of us so far. No one's gotten any big scoring plays. So I'm fortunate that he hasn't been drawing well either while I've been plodding through some of my junk. Do I have any, like, 10s here with federal? Like, federaler. I don't think that's good. Definitely don't think that's good. Yeah, probably just deferral is going to be the only one, I think. Yeah, there's not going to be anything to this A. Yeah, I think that's probably best. I guess, does it really matter where I put the blank? I guess he's probably more likely to overlap there, so I'll put the blank first. Not that it really matters too much, though, in most cases. Okay, so he bingos back with semiotic. Now, just like that, both of the blanks are gone. And good draw for us other than the Q. We're down 46, so not a ton. We definitely have ways to dispose of the Q. Actually, several. We have, obviously, just dropping it. We have Qua for 24. We have Sank for 30. And we have, yeah, we have a lot of ways to get rid of the Q. We have Trank for 24. We have Knot for 28. There's a lot of things to consider here. I guess the first thing I would look at is how often do we actually bingo if we just drop this Q? How about with an A? And a Circa or Sandarak? I don't think anything actually hits with an A on this board, though. An E should hit through that. Yeah, an E will hit through that I or the T. B, Carabins. D? Does a D hit? No, I don't think so, because there's still no A for Sandarak. G? Carnages? No. I? Ocarinas. Or Arnicas and Sat. It doesn't hit with an N, which is annoying. It'll hit with an O at the minimum through that I. The problem is, how likely are these things to stay open? P, it will hit Cantraps. Yeah, it might hit enough, because T, it hits Transacts too. If we can dodge the N's, it probably does hit enough to be worth it. I definitely don't like Sank. That feels like it blows up the rack too much. Yeah, I think it's probably worth it. It's not that big a point sacrifice, and I feel like this bingo's Probably about 50%. Right, because we said it at least hits something with a B. It doesn't hit with a D, right? No, so B is 1 tile, E is 4, that's 5, I is 7, L, no, O is 11. Again, that's assuming Ocarina stays open, though, which isn't a guarantee. P12, T14, S15. Okay, so hits with like, I don't know, 15 out of 37. Maybe that's not enough, actually. That's not great. Especially since a lot of them don't stay open that much. Like, I actually don't think that's great. It's not as much as I thought at first. So maybe I don't want to play Kanat and give back big QI overlaps, though. And also leave myself without a foul. Qua? Maybe? Trank? I guess the nice thing about Trank is the X is also a good tile for scoring. It does set up a big X bomb, although that's not really usable because you need to play XU, and there are no U's left. Yeah, this is a tough turn. I guess the question is, like, how much do I feel like I'm going to need to bingo? Like, I probably do. I'm going to be down about 30 and a tempo, and there's a bunch of good stuff in the pool. Like, I probably do need to play for a bingo. But maybe Qua is just better, because I just don't think the A works very well for me for bingoing. Like, Qua gives me another chance to pick up an E or an I or just something better. Like, I kind of think Qua is the best play. It also sets up Crane, which is nice for next turn at the minimum. For, like, 35. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Qua, guys. I feel like this makes sense. Okay, so we got an A back and a G, which I don't think bingos. Anything through this IN that he might have given us? Yeah, I think it's just Carnages with an E. Maybe a few other 8s, but nothing through an I, I'm almost positive. Do I not have anything here? I guess I can, just Grace now. It's 33, keeps A and S. It cuts it to a 7-point game. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's probably perfectly reasonable if I don't have a bingo. Yeah, I'm pretty confident there's no bingo here. I hope I'm not wrong. That would be a very costly mistake, but I'm pretty sure there's nothing through the I. So I think Grace seems pretty good. And he triples with Potences for 140, and that should be the game. Guess I'll bingo with Earstone. Maybe if I can, like, bingo out somehow. If I draw, like, Indoxil, maybe I can still win. Yeah, Earstone or Aranos. Probably Earstone, right? Because Aranos closes down more. I'm going to need another bingo. So yeah, Earstone's got to be right. Yeah, if I can draw, like, Indoxil or something, I maybe actually can win. Okay, I wasn't that far off. I didn't get it. But, like, if I had drawn Indoxil, depending on what he had, I may have actually won by a few points. But not meant to be, unfortunately. So, okay. What is best? He has AINN. He's going to go out with Alanin from this AL, if I don't block. So I probably do want to do something about that, since I don't think he's going to have another out. Do I have any double doubles? Xylodin. Not in the right spot. So maybe I just want to try to go out in 2 while blocking Alanin. Laxity is a word. Could play that over here. That will still let him go out, though. Am I supposed to just let him go out? Laxity is a lot of points. Getting low on time. Oh, I have Hootie too, actually. Now that I see that. But not much to go with it. Yeah, what do I even have with Hootie? Not much. Maybe badly saving ticks. I'll have to save, like, lax or tax here. I guess I have fixed. Yeah, maybe badly that looks fine. Badly saving fixed. That seems reasonable. I have no idea if that's the best play, but let's go with it. And okay. Okay, so 457, 394. Bit of a rough loss there. I hope I didn't miss any bingos or any better plays. Potences was probably just a freak thing. It's pretty unlikely for him to triple through a C there. I don't think there was anything I should have done to block, but let's see. I don't have full confidence I didn't miss anything on one of those turns because they were pretty promising racks. Okay, so Ewis, wow, AEI he kept, huh? Is that really correct? I don't know. I think I would trade here. I mean, you're giving up your S for 20 and keeping AEI. I feel like I would trade down to ES. I mean, wow, it's that much worse on static? Although, the HastyBot, yeah, see, I don't understand, because HastyBot has AEI valued as positive 2.33, which is complete hogwash. I mean, AEI is a bad leave. Like, if you're going to keep a 3-vowel leave, AEI is a good one to keep, because it's not duplicative, and they're the 3 best vowels, but, like, it's still not positive 2 points. Come on. Like, even if it's, I think it probably should be, like, -8 or -10. So yeah, it's close, because ES is probably like +10, +12. I don't know. I feel like I would trade here, personally. I don't know. Ewis for 20, burning your S, keeping AEI. That just feels really wrong to me. I mean, it's probably not a terrible play, but I don't think it's a play I would have made. So yeah, here what do I do? I didn't really like either 5 halved. I didn't consider this, but I mean, this has plenty of positional drawbacks too. It gives back a big X-bomb over here, or just big other plays if he has like a W or a Y or an H or anything. IVE is also way worse than AHT. Hive is pretty crazy too. Maybe Thief would have been a little bit better. Yeah, maybe Thief. It's considerably safer. I mean, it still gives back some big plays on this row, but it's quite a bit safer than 5, I think. I mean, this isn't the easiest spot to hit, just because the F here doesn't take an A, and not all that much goes in front of an I. Like, he'd probably have to hit something in, like, EM or something like that, or EK maybe. Like, it's not easy for him to put an H there, because not a lot of words end in, like, OH or EH. So maybe 5 isn't that scary, and like I said, he's not likely to have the Z, because I'm pretty confident he didn't have it, or else Wiz comes down on the opening rack. So maybe 5 is not bad. I probably would go with Thief. Thief also does not take an S, which is probably good for me, given he, I would imagine, has an S, a second S more likely than average after Ewis. Of course, he didn't here, but from my perspective, I have to imagine he's much more likely than average to have another S. So that, yeah, that looks a little bit better. I think I would probably play Thief if I had to do this again, but I don't think 5 is a big mistake. But yeah, he plays Aji. Hoot looks pretty straightforward. Oh, Tomato is a cool play over here. Doesn't look best. I mean, the H is not a bad tile, but AMT is just a bit stronger for overall balance and bingoing. So I think Hoot has got to be correct, but that is a cool play over here. He plays Oblige, which looks solid, keeping ES. Yeah, Kip looks good. Oh, Kit is interesting. I didn't actually think about that. Just, again, because ALMP... The MP is really good for synergy, and it does score a lot more than ALMT does when I don't bingo. But that being said, especially with a floating E and a floating S, my bingo percentage is probably sufficiently higher after ALMT that it is worth it to do that. But I should have at least considered that. I considered Cat down here, but the I is definitely a lot worse than the A. So Kit would have been interesting. I don't think I would have played it if I considered it. I just, again, think probably my bingo percentage from keeping the T is higher enough that Kip is worth it, but I don't think Kit would be a bad play by any means. Plays Zep. Yeah, that looks fine. I wouldn't play Lutz's and get rid of the S here, I don't think. Yeah, EHSTU is a perfectly reasonable leave, so that looks good. Yeah, Lamb. Maybe Mural would have been better. I didn't actually consider that. I think I got a little fixated on putting the M next to the E. Yeah, I think I would do Mural, because the U is pretty bad. And I mean, DRT does have good synergy, and there's a floating E. Like, if not for the floating E, Mural I think would be considerably better. Given there is a floating E, DRTU probably does, maybe even bingos more than DT, I wonder. Just because the T, the R, and the D work so well with the E. Like, DRTU with an E is not such a bad leave. But it is a lot higher variance, because as we saw when I don't bingo, I'm really going to be stuck with garbage. So I think just burning through more tiles on racks like this is generally better and generally how I like playing more. So yeah, I think Mural. So a couple slight imprecisions here. I think 5 was slightly imprecise, Lamb slightly imprecise. Nothing major, but I think those plays would have been better. So, oh, Drug instead of Guru? Maybe, yeah. I guess, again, I think maybe I got a little bit frustrated here drawing another U and was sort of just like, oh, I got to get rid of this U ASAP. But yeah, Drug maybe would have been a little bit better. I mean, DRT versus RTU, like DRT is better synergy. The U is just a worse tile overall, but of course keeping 3 consonants without a vowel is not optimal in general. So RTU, I mean, overall I would still think DRT is better. Is it 5 points better? Maybe not. Probably not. So yeah, I think Drug is a little bit more sound here. Again, not a big mistake, and Guru does open another line for 7s with UT, which I can use my T for, which is nice. So it does have some positional benefits. It keeps the board a little bit more open, which I think is good for me given I don't have a great rack. I'm down a little bit. I'll probably be playing from a bit of a disadvantage. So I don't think Guru is a bad play, but again, I think just another kind of small mistake here. Yeah, Turves. Yeah, I think that's right. S doesn't seem worth 12 points on this board with 2 more unseen and not a lot of good S hooks. I think Turves makes sense. Told. Okay, I didn't see that either, but yeah, Outdrag. In this case, this is sort of like Lamb versus Mural, where I think I made the wrong play before. Here, I think I made the right play. DRTU, especially on this board, now that the E is no longer available to use, you're just better off burning through more tiles. The blanks are still out with every tile that gets played. The chance of me drawing one of those blanks increases because there's fewer in the pool. So yeah, burning through more tiles I think makes a lot of sense here. I would definitely do Outdrag again. Weed, I guess, is fine for him. He just doesn't, yeah, he doesn't really have a good place to play Owie. I mean, this is extremely crazy for only 12 points to play it there. So yeah, I guess Weed is probably fine. He's got a T to work with, which goes well with his vowels, so that seems fine. It's a constant heavy pool too, which should help him out. Deferral only bingo here. Semiotic, only bingo for the bot. I guess that's not too surprising since, yeah, with 2 I's and 2 T's, it's not too easy to get an 8 through the T. Yeah, this was a tough turn, so a lot of options here. Qua I considered. I briefly considered Cannot, but again, I didn't want to give back big overlaps with QI, and I wanted to keep at least one vowel just because there are all these N's and the pool does lean a little bit consonant heavy. Yes, Thank, AARS is just not strong enough, I didn't feel like. Trank I was pretty close to playing as well. I was mostly between Trank, Qua, and QI. But yeah, I just didn't feel that AACRNS, just because especially with all those N's, it doesn't hit. With the O's, it hits ocarinas through this I in semiotic, but that's pretty likely to get blocked. I just didn't think I was likely enough to bingo, and after Qua, my bingo percentage is probably similar, if not even higher, just because I'm giving myself more chances to draw one of these E's, or just a better vowel than a second A to work with. So I think Qua is fine here. Sort of strikes the best balance between playing off more tiles and keeping a strong bingo-friendly leave. I think it's fine. He plays Don, kind of an awkward rack, PONS. I guess that's fine. It doesn't really accomplish much. I guess it blocks this I at least, which is nice. You could play Poined as well. The P is probably good to keep, though, just for scoring overall. It's kind of a scary position for him because there is a lot of bingo potential in that pool. I also could see burning through more tiles with Ponton, maybe. Also trying to start exhausting the board a little bit more. Yeah, I think these are all reasonable plays, but I don't hate Don. Okay, I didn't miss a bingo here. Yeah, Grace seems fine. I mean, I just don't really have anything that blocks that C effectively. Yeah, I think this is pretty clearly best. I mean, it scores as well as anything, and ANS is a very strong leave. I saw Scrag, but I mean, for only 3 more points to get rid of the S, I can't imagine this makes any sense. I mean, I'm not in a good position here if I play Scrag. I'm still down. I'm not down much. I'm down like 5, but it'll be his turn. And yeah, I mean, I feel like I was in a good position after Grace. I've got a really strong leave, and there's good lanes to hit it. But of course, HastyBot had other ideas and slams down potences for 140. And as I said here, though, the game is not over because your stone, I think, has to be correct, just because it leaves the possibility for me to draw things like Indoxil or Xylidin for like 100 on the end column. That would be pretty sick if I pulled Xylidin, Xylidin, out of the bag and one like that. And there's 8 in the bag, so I will be drawing 7 tiles and leaving 1 in the bag. Xylidin would actually play with Hootie too, so that would be one draw where I would almost certainly pull out a victory. So it's bleak, but it's actually not over after your stone. But yeah, I guess from his point of view here, probably, yeah, almost Xylidin Unseen. See, I wasn't that far off, but probably nothing that he has to worry about. There's Daintily as a non-bingo for 48 through this IN, but that's not going to be enough. So, oh, did I actually miss that? Now I'm seeing it. I think I missed it on my rack. Oh, well. Yeah, I missed it. I see it now in the post-game, but because I think I had that with an X. Oh, well. But yeah, he plays Nocebo, and yeah, I did miss Daintily here, which would have been a nice play to block Alanin and also save the X. I'm not scoring that much with the X next turn, but this is enough points. It's most certainly better than the play I made of Badly. And yeah, Laxity I could have done, but I saw this play, but as I mentioned, that leaves Alanin for him to go out, so it's not a good play. I mean, yeah, Badly it's not a good play, but at least it does stop him from going out and keep fixed. So yeah, that's a 52-point sequence, right? Badly is 24, fixed is 28. So that's not bad, but Daintily getting 48. It also doesn't give back as big a play to him because Badly gave back ANI for 16. I guess he'd have probably, well, he wouldn't want to play Feign because it would give me a bigger spot for XI. So he probably is just going to play something like AN and Hin. But yeah, probably Daintily would have netted me about 12 more spread points, because I do have XU here. Yeah, it would have been a much better play. But, oh well, it didn't cost me the game or anything. And yeah, I play Badly. He goes with Ani over here, and I go out with Fixed. And yeah, final score 457 to 394. Overall, I'm okay with this game. I'm not thrilled. There were nothing like massive, but there were just a couple plays early on. I think I made some small imprecisions. 5, I think Thief would have been better. I think with Lamb, Mural would have been better, and with Guru, Drug would have been better. So again, nothing massive. I didn't like miss any bingos or make any 20-point equity mistakes or anything like that. But those small mistakes really can add up sometimes, and I think they sort of did here. Certainly a little bit of bad luck that he happened to pull Potences after playing Don, but you know, that's certainly part of the game, and sometimes it's going to happen to you, and sometimes it's going to happen for you, and that's just part of what's cool about Scrabble. So another loss, so that's 3 losses in a row, which is not great, but it's again not surprising. We've had some pretty amazing winning streaks, and in a series this long, you're going to also have some losing streaks in there. So hopefully it comes to an end soon. We'll be playing game 55 in just a couple days. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and hope to see you all there. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.